We just got back from our first GenCon 2021. It was an incredible experience. This video is about our haul of games.
Every single game, including a few other knickknacks that we got at GenCon in 2021. First of all, everyone told me, and even warned me that going to GenCon, that you're going to buy a lot of games. Like, it's a trip about spending money, getting all the new stuff, getting all the cool stuff, or even just stuff you've been wanting to get for a while. It's right in front of your face. And I was like, I mean, yeah,
Sure,
I'll probably
yeah,
buy a few games.
Yeah.
And we did buy a lot of
It was
games.
a lot. There was a point where I went over budget, and then it was all downhill from there.
You're like, well, I'm already over budget.
I'm already in debt. So, like, what's the difference?
So we're going to share with you every single game we bought, ending with our most exciting titles. These are games that we've been wanting for a while, games that we've just heard so many good things about. So,
Yeah, I don't do a lot of research into games, nearly as much as Evan. So a lot of my purchases were literally just me finding this game out for the first time, and I'm like, yep,
Yeah, that
I
looks
love
awesome.
this. Which is, I feel like is a really nice, like, experience at a convention.
that's one of the cool things about Gen Con. Like, you can go there and you can see a game you've never played before or even heard of, and you see the components there. You see it being played.
Yeah, you don't
can
even
learn it and play it there.
Right. And you don't even have to be the one figuring it out. Like, you could sit and watch other people play it and be like, yeah, I think I'd love this.
Yeah.
It was super fun.
We're going to talk about the first game we bought. It was
game.
before we even went into the vending hall or the vendor hall. We
We
There
parked.
was some game store that I just need to go to the bathroom. We were walking by a game store. I'm like, let's look and see what this game store has. And then there was a game that I had been wanting, so I just got it. It's cool. It's a fun game. I had already played it. It's just like a super simple bluffing game.
Yeah.
And it's just a good time.
Bluffing
Push your
and
luck.
Push your luck.
In a way, an auctioning game, but not really. It's a super streamlined bluffing game, and it's a game that I've been wanting for a while just because it's 3 to 6 players, and it's perfect to take to your local brewery or bar. And just hang out with your friends. And so I've been needing it, been wanting it. So
Easy buy.
We got it.
Buy. Actually,
Next up, this is actually a gift we got for someone. And we'll probably have given it to them by
Hopefully.
the time this video comes out. But if not, this is for you, Caitlin, our sister. We got you 2 Bonanza expansions and 1 Bonanza 2-player game because she loves Bonanza. It's a fun game. It's a good game. So we got her some expansions for that.
Yeah, really good. It was the first thing we bought at Gen Con.
Next up is a trick-taking game that I've heard so many good things about, so I was like, I gotta pick it up. Only to find out that it's actually the trick-taking game that we grew up playing the most, just republished, Skull King. It's what we called Oh Heck.
Oh heck.
Because what you do in this game is you're essentially looking at your hand of cards and betting how many tricks you think you can win. And usually, you don't win as many as you think. You might win way too many, or all of a sudden you just can't quite get it.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of excitement, a lot of like interesting hand assessment, and this version of the game adds some cool things, and
Different abilities, different dynamics, different scoring, which I think fixes a lot of some of the traditional card game like feel. It just feels a little more
feels cleaner.
Yeah.
So
clean is
we're
great
super
way to
pumped to
put
have
that.
this, especially just play with our family. Like, we've already played this game a lot with them. So
Expansion alert! Expansion alert!
Space Alert.
Space alert expansion.
Space Alert is a really cool co-op real-time game that
over there.
I personally love and haven't gotten to play as much as I want to, and I haven't found a group that I want to play consistently with. I actually put it on our top 5 campaign/co-op games list.
I haven't played it yet.
It's not actually a campaign, but it kind of begs to be played by the same group because there's just so much more you can add as you play each round. This is more that I can add, and I haven't even seen nearly enough of the original.
double actions, red threats, specializations, and an experience system, which sounds like even more campaigny.
So I'm pumped to have it. I don't know when I'm even going to play anything like it or with any of the expansion stuff.
I actually didn't really see what Rift Force was. I saw you and Nelson talking about it. Shout out to Nelson.
Shout out to Nelson from the Fantasy and Some Flights podcast. Definitely check out his podcast out.
In the description.
Yep. Rift Force. I heard a couple people talk about it. It sounded interesting. It's about wizards dueling, and it has the same system as games like Shot and Totten Orc, which is one of the Paco games. There's one I own that's similar that I don't even remember what it's called, but it's about Greek mythology, and then Hanamikoji, where you're kind of battling over specific areas and trying to outsmart. Oh, and Air, Land, and Sea. A lot of great games with this system. So I'm excited to have another one to try and see how it is. Apparently, it's cool.
It's got good bones.
This one I'm actually pumped for. Watergate. It's a 2-player game that I keep on hearing people rave about.
I didn't realize until this moment that it was about
The Watergate scandal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what it's about. It's an asymmetrical 2-player game where one person is trying to investigate the scandal and one person is trying to
Cover it up.
cover it up. Apparently, it's super thematic, really brilliant, and I'm pumped to have it. I love 2-player games that are super tight. I think it's probably feels similar to something like Twilight Struggle.
That's what I thought.
But way simplified because Twilight Struggle is pretty complex and it's really good.
Yeah.
That's a game I gotta play more. This one was another one that we just heard about while we were at GenCon from people at GenCon, and we were like, you know what? We're gonna get it based on mostly the recommendation from the Gamecasters, who again they're another podcast that we want to shout out. The Gamecasters have one of the funniest board game podcasts, maybe the funniest. I love it a lot.
Us on it.
We were on one episode. I think we were on episode like 50. But also their last episode and as well as their upcoming episodes have a little bit to do with GenCon. So if you just want to see more about GenCon, their upcoming episode is a GenCon recap and debrief. So definitely check out their podcast. Anyways, Ryan said that this was one of the best games they had played at GenCon. It is basically mostly 2-player, but it could be 2 versus 2, and there's some weird 3-player variant. It's almost like a
Carcassonne.
simplified Carcassonne, which sounds like alarming because Carcassonne is already kind of simple enough, but apparently it's really tight and actually surprisingly interesting.
I think more than simplified, it's probably refined. It's probably boiled down to the essence of what really makes Carcassonne super good.
So I'm very excited about this one. Hopefully I'll love it. I might end up going, this was fine. That's what I kind of would expect looking at it, but I trust Ryan. So, my life.
I trust Carcassonne. So, no.
Okay. This is actually one of the ones that we played at GenCon after we got it.
Yeah.
Shamans. It's a trick-taking game mixed with a hidden role social deduction game.
Yeah.
That we actually got the recommendation from someone who commented on our stream. Thank you so much for watching our stream of Tichu.
Yeah.
Which is another trick-taking game that we both
love.
Didn't you put it in number 2 on your top 5 list or something?
Something like that.
It's constantly pushing to be higher on my top 10 list. Anyways, we played Tichu, and he was like, "Have you heard of Shamans yet?"
We had not.
We had now heard of Shamans going into GenCon, and then it was there, and I was like, "This is the time to buy it."
And there were plenty of other people saying it was extremely hype.
It's also gorgeous seeing it in person. Like I'll actually pull just the board.
It's got extremely bright.
It's got like a glisten on certain parts of the board. Some of the cards are the same way.
The roll cards, the components.
What is happening? This is awesome. So anyways, we played Shamans.
Yes.
We played it, and it was really good.
It was very good. I think it probably, like a lot of trick-taking games, like
I love the genre.
You have to get to know that game to like thrive in it, and like the amount of things that you can thrive in this game is pretty vast.
It felt like there was a lot of implications to every decision, as well as a ton of really cool social dynamics that come out of a hidden and rules game and a social deduction game that I hadn't ever experienced those two together. And they didn't just put two genres together that I like. They did it really well.
They did it.
And it
very
works
well.
Beautifully. Two great genres. If you like those genres.
And even if you just really like one genre, because I'm not like super big into social deduction.
This was one of the people we played with, Dom. I'll link his Instagram. We met at the convention. We played this game with him. It was his first trick-taking game. And I think he really enjoyed it. So this one is really exciting. I'm super stoked to play it more.
Yeah.
This one is worth checking out. Again, we played it one game of it, which was like 5 rounds.
It was a pretty long
which I was the shadow character of the first 4 rounds.
That was crazy.
Which is really crazy, but I won on the 4th round. It was very exciting. I felt like... Anyways, there's tons of death. We're not even going to put that... We might have cut some stuff out. I don't know. I'm just pumped about it.
It's good. I'm excited to play it again. The next one is Bakugou Sumo, which...
so cute.
Very, very... Just... I mean, the world building in this game... subtle and brilliant.
It's perfect. There's nothing wrong
It's a
with it.
perfect balance. They don't go super heavy in the lore, but there is plenty of really fun, really cool ideas happening in this game, and it's a dexterity type that I hadn't really
seen.
thought of even.
Because
like,
it's a dexterity game, but one thing that this game doesn't have that a lot of dexterity games do have is the chance for you to just absolutely fail.
yeah.
Like, you can
fail.
You can fail, like any game should have, but you can... In flicking games, like, things can just get so messed up by, like, a mistake. And some people are actually more prone to that than others, and so, like, that's not actually fun for some people. So this one is a dexterity game that I actually recommend to more people, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like anyone could have fun with this game. Like,
and I was surprised as a gamer who loves, like, heavier games. I like asymmetrical player powers. This game has asymmetrical player powers, and they did a good job with it. Each different beetle plays differently. If you zoom out and kind of animate it a little bit, so it's you're just flicking. You're just like you're just pushing discs onto the thing, and then the beetles are moving around in the middle. And if you knock someone off, you win. That's the game. But if you animate it a little bit, which doesn't take much effort, your characters are actually doing different things. Like their fighting style is different. So it actually kind of feels like a fighting game.
It emulates fighting in a really good way. It emulates sumo in a really good way.
So it's just cool. And also, beetles actually do this.
That's true.
They're just like duking it out and flicking people off of the log. It's awesome.
Flicking people off the log. Yeah.
Anyways, Kabuto Sumo is super cool. QE is the next game. This is one, I've also heard of this one a lot. Like, people just keep on telling me, this game's brilliant. And we were like, all right, you know what, I'm going to buy it. And as we got in line, like, 3 other people had just finished playing a demo. They're like, this is the best game we've played so far. Like, at the convention. Like, that was fantastic. 3 people bought it right after us. So just, like,
I wonder
decided to buy
if any of the booths hired people to just, like, stand in line and be like, oh, yeah, this game, that was the best game I played.
They're like, we'll give you a free copy if you pretend to buy it.
Yeah.
That's just, like, hilarious. So anyways, we got it. And I'm very pumped about it because I keep hearing good things about it. So essentially, it's an auction game. And this is cool, where you can bet any amount of money.
Infinite.
You could be like, I want to get this thing, I'm going to do $99 billion. I want to win the auction. And you probably will win it. But the catch is, at the end of the game, after multiple auctions happened, you kind of tally up all of the money you spent, and whoever spent the most can't win. So it's player balanced cap. Because
it's crazy.
Yeah, so it's just like, it's crazy, and apparently it's really good, so
Can you
I'm very
imagine,
excited
like,
about it.
just being higher by $1 and just feeling, like, so crushed?
Oh, also, this was funny. We bought both of these at the Board Game Tables booth, because it's the same publisher. We were like, all right, we're buying QE and Kabuto Sumo, and he goes, do you want the expansion too? And that was about as good of a sell as I needed, so we got the expansion too. Before we jump into the 3 like bigger game purchases, these are a bunch of small games. We wanted to share a couple of things that we got. I got a couple of things of dice. I'm going to use these to keep track of things in Flesh and Blood, the recent trading card game I've been ridiculously obsessed with. You kind of just like use dice to keep track of different things. Yeah. And I was like, these are both really pretty.
And speaking of that, like, just at GenCon, there's plenty of other things besides board games.
There's a lot of...
there's
an insane amount of stuff.
Just everything tabletop. So there was a lot of really nice dice that we came across. There was a lot of art. We got some art prints as well from other nerdy, fun things.
Writers had their books for sale.
Yeah.
There's a lot of miniature gamers, war gamers, role-playing gamers. Yeah. An insane amount of stuff.
It was great. It was fantastic. It was tempting, and so tempting that I bought a very expensive dice tower. I've never owned a dice tower.
I've never even thought about it.
I'm fine with rolling in a dice tray, rolling on a table. I'm fine. I never even made a decision that I needed a dice tower.
We walked up and we're like, these are pretty. And then I dropped a dice in the dice tower and went, I've never wanted a dice tower before.
You'll see in the video of our vlog of GenCon, just like the way it turned, like immediately
we're like, oh. This is nice.
This is important.
This is important to buy.
So I did end up getting a Wormwood dice tower. It's all packed up here. Let me just put it together.
First of all, super cool. First of all, we love Wormwood. This is a brand that we trust, believe in, and are inspired by.
Absolutely.
They're brilliant. They have a YouTube channel as well where they do sort of vlog style videos of their studio while they're making things and all that. So great videos.
All these pieces magnetically come together and all snaps together into a really nice dice tower. It comes the full set comes with a dice vault, carries all of your dice, and just listen to this.
Roll D20.
Wow. I was sold. We just kept rolling it and couldn't stop, and we're like, well,
It's this sound. I would die for this sound.
it's so nice. And so I don't have any buyer's remorse about this. We used it last night to play one of the games we're about to talk about next. And it was super fun.
It just added a little bit of flair.
The thing I loved most about Wormwood, and if you don't know this already, this is basically what sold me on their products in general, is that everything comes with, even the dice, come with a craftsman's promise, which I've never heard of another company with another product
bold.
that go this bold. And it basically is, if anything happens to your product, we will fix or replace it for free, which is just bonkers.
It's insane.
Even their like $15,000 tables, anything that happens. Supposedly, some guy told us a story about a customer's house burning down, and they replaced the whole table for them. Like, and they had to move to a new house, and they're like, at least we don't have to buy a table. Like, I feel cared about.
Yeah,
I felt
exactly.
cared
Instantly.
about buying, or just even being on the trade show floor with them. But they said multiple times, we want every product you buy from us to be the last of its kind. Like
you
should
need
never
to buy
have to
another
buy a
table.
dice tower again. And that is true. I will never buy a dice tower
I do want
again.
to use a dice tower.
15. Every time I get a 20 in this thing, I'm like,
It was worth
so
it.
worth it.
It was
so
worth it. This is the game that we use the dice tower in. Atlantis Rising. This is a worker placement, cooperative, push your luck game.
Yeah.
That's mostly just resource management, but it was surprisingly really fun.
It was very fun. I felt like we were playing a pretty easy mode.
I think like the introductory mode, which honestly was too easy.
It was too easy. By the end we were like, yeah, we'll win. And so, I think the fact that there's harder difficulties are just going to...
I'm looking forward to increasing the challenge. Because like the cooperative games that I love the most, probably my top 3, Spirit Island, Robinson Crusoe, and Shadowrun Crossfire, are all notoriously hard and brutal.
Yeah.
So easy cooperative games are like, that was fun.
The other notable thing...
So we'll see how challenging it can get.
About this is it is up to 7 players.
That's
which
pretty insane.
I've never heard of a co-op game
1 to 7.
that has that range.
It's
so
pretty good.
I like that it has that pretty dang easy mode to potential, like, pretty challenging.
We'll see how hard it gets.
You can play to the audience you have at the table.
Yeah.
If there's... I feel like I could still play that easy mode again and have a good time.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I was impressed by. It was just that it was fun.
Yeah, and
getting the resources felt fun. The components are insanely nice.
They're
all
very,
of them.
very
Like
nice.
all of the art and all the components are like, oh, I feel like it'll be a fun.
It's
fun
a
game
solid
to play.
ad.
Yeah,
Solid ad.
I will say if quarterbacking is a thing that bothers you, especially, I don't think that this does anything to prevent it.
The next game that we got from GenCon.
You actually got. I didn't pay for this one. This one is yours.
This was the only one that I purely bought.
Yeah. There was
out
a
of my
few. There
own
was a few
volition.
that I got. I got Space Alert, Watergate, QE, Rift Force, and Skull on my own. But the rest of them we shared. This one is just Alex's. So you take it away, Alex. Why'd you buy this?
It's my baby. No. First off, we saw Ultri and thought, right off the bat, the art is gorgeous.
It's stunning.
The colors, the art style. So we saw it. The components are super nice. Then we found out it was cooperative and narrative. It's very just... It speaks our language. It spoke my language.
I don't think I was gonna buy it, but I definitely saw it and was like, "This is worth looking into." But
It's brand new.
It was one that you're gonna buy.
It's brand new. There's no reviews on it. So I kind of went in blind.
Designed by the guy who did Seven Wonders and Ghost Stories.
That was another really high selling point.
Pretty notable.
Just some good games right there.
I haven't played Ghost Stories. I don't know anything about it, actually.
It's probably good. So I I just bought it. It was kind of the one that I was like, yeah, this is probably, so far looking around, like, there's definitely stuff I would split, but this was one I was like, I kind of want to own this one. So I'm really excited about this game. I think it will hopefully be good. The sad part is we had so many games in our frickin' bag that it got a little busted. I didn't even notice until we got home. I was like,
I think I was gonna.
Dang it.
I don't remember what bag I was in. I don't remember. Yeah,
it was super disappointing.
Well,
And
it's
it
not
got
uncommon
busted.
for publishers to replace this kind of thing. So
Yeah.
the last game in our Gen Con haul is the one we're most excited about.
Yeah.
It is. I say most excited about because we just keep on hearing about it. It is a very exciting title that everyone keeps telling me is so good, so I had to get it. When we saw it, I was like, we had to do it. I posted on the Instagram page whenever, or our Instagram story whenever we got it. It is Lost Ruins of Arnak. Get out of the way! This is a worker placement and deck building game with a safari jungle theme.
Indiana Jones
Style. Deck building and worker placement are both genres that I love. Putting them together sounds fantastic. I know Dune Imperium also did this, and apparently that one's also really good. It's also on my wish list. This game, I just keep hearing, is fantastic. It's ranked number 49 on Board Game Geek. Apparently it's just brilliant. So
making its way up.
We had to get it. It was right in front of us at Czech Games, and we did get it, and we're very pumped about it. So
I want to play it, so
let's do it. So that's our haul.
That's our haul. If you went to Gen Con, we want to know what your haul looked like as well. Let us know in the comments below. Let us know if any of these games catch your eye, or if you've played any of them. We'd love to hear what you think.
We want to know which ones we should pay the most attention to and have at the highest priority to get off our shelves of shame. We've already played Shamans and Kabuto Sumo and Skull and Atlantis Rising, but the rest...
Skull King.
And Skull King. But the rest...
And the Dice Tower.
We have rolled in that a lot.
But the rest...
We need to know. We need you to tell us which ones we should play. We're going to be posting on our Instagram page every time we play one of these games, just how it went, what we think about it as a sort of first impressions. So follow us on our Instagram. It's linked in the description.
Even more particularly, are there any games you'd like to see us stream live on Being Friends?
We're already thinking about Kabuto Sumo and Shamans.
I could see...
We could even do that and Land vs. Sea all in one stream.
All in one. It seems like a pretty good idea. So thank you so much for commenting below. Even better than commenting, join our Discord,
please,
where we can talk more about games all the time. We can show you what we're playing. We can show you... You can show us what you're playing. More excitingly for us. We met a couple of our good friends that have joined our Discord at Gen Con. Linnea, Speedy.
You know what? Speaking of, Linnea, on our Discord, actually, we met up and played Architects of the West Kingdom.
This is technically...
And I already had this.
On our haul, because we brought it back. We brought the knowledge back.
Yeah.
So now we can
all
play
of these games, including this one, we left or went to Gen Con having no ability to play.
And now
we have the ability to play.
Yeah, Linnea, thank you for teaching us.
She taught us the game.
It was fantastic.
It was a lot of fun. I love it. Maybe not as much as Paladins. Paladins is really great, but it's lighter weight and really unique worker placement game. And I'm very pumped that I already owned it. It was just like getting a free game. Is how it felt.
Yeah.
So this is kind of in our haul. We'll put it right here.
If you like credit card debt, like this video below.
That's what we're in.
If you want to help us get out of credit card debt, go support us on our Patreon, where we have exclusive content. We also have a nice little channel for you in our Discord where we can talk more exclusively with you. That was our haul. We've got more content coming out specifically around Gen Con, our experience there, exclusive interviews from Being Friends, of the booths.
So fun.
Very fun. That's it.
Thanks so much for joining. Thanks for hanging out, and I hope that you enjoyed the video.
Have a good day.